A winter's day on King Island. It's empty here at the King Island Racing Club canteen and around us. And normally it's always busy and something happens in December and January. But it looks like for this coming race season, Audrey Hamer, not going to happen.
No, unfortunately, we've been trying hard to keep like King Island Racing going. It's been very difficult for the last 4 years without the trainers that we've had off island come and support us for the 4 years. We probably would have had to stop 4 years ago. But this year, everything is just getting more difficult for people to be here for 3 months of the year. So the horses have to come, say, early November for the 7 race meetings, and then they don't get off the island to, say, till mid-February. Because of we have to rely on that boat service.
So what has changed then? Because we have had people coming here, trainers and horses, and what has changed? Do they not want to come back? Is it too expensive? Or
well, quite a few things there. What that you mentioned, like. Because of the length of the season, like Bill Hayes and Tubber Williams, they would happy to come back, but only for 4 weeks of the year. Because they have work commitments, they're from Forbes in New South Wales, it's the work commitments, so they would only come for the 4, when we suggested the 4 meetings. But I understand the local side of it. It still takes 3 months to train the race horses to get them ready then for only 4 meetings instead of 7. But if we went with a 7, we wouldn't have had anyone wanting to support us from off island. So there wouldn't have been a race season with 7 either. So the cost of everything getting here, like Tas Racing still subsidises $600 per horse for the freight to come across the strait. And also then our club last year sponsored the majority of the horses, or incentive payment, $1,250 towards their costs. And we were going to do the same this year, but because when we decided only the 4 meetings, Tas Racing offered the money that they were saving on the 3 meetings we weren't going to have. They were going to put $30,000 with us towards incentive payments. So each horse that started each day was going to get a $500 top up towards their costs. So there'd be $2,000 if they made the 4 meetings.
But how come that was still not enough then for people to be encouraged to say, I'll come to King Island, I'll bring horses to King Island? Was that still not enough?
Well, for some not, but it hasn't been out there for that long, only I think 2 or 3 weeks, the actual amount of the incentive. We did say all along that we were going to pay an incentive again, but not the actual amount, because that decision was only made with the amount after Tas Racing offered that $30,000 that they would be saving to help top up. So, but also, it's the shipping side of things, because anyone wanting to come from Victoria want to come across straight from Port Welshpool. Warren Dick cannot guarantee that he will be here, say, 2 weeks before Christmas, because he's got to have a full boat. He also has to then rely on the weather being okay to ship horses across. And so if then they're going to have a break over Christmas. So then if he was only going to sail after Christmas, and our first meeting was going to be on the 3rd of January, then, we possibly couldn't start till the 10th. Then there'd be 4 meetings in a row, which we have done in the past, but the local horses would not be race fit. They'd be fit, but not race fit. The horses that would come off the island would be race fit because they've been being raced over there or in
But why couldn't you make the horses race fit that are here?
Because we don't have enough jockeys to actually then, you can do fast work on a horse on the track, but it's not the same as, 4 or 5 horses in a group actually racing. It's just a different vibe. It's just different for the horses.
Now, everywhere you go around and you look, and it's not only on King Island, volunteers, finding volunteers aging, we hear all the time. But then you look at the races here, and I've seen them over the years now, you see a lot of young people at the races. So we could not find any of those that would say, I'll love to give a hand.
There is some that possibly would, but everybody needs a stable hand licence now to be able to lead a horse, to be able to help on the people's property, to, you know, pick up poo. You need a licence for that. You need a licence for everything. So, and you can have to be the age of 14 now, like back in the day when we all started, and even when our children started, you could be 12. So, and you didn't need a licence as such, you just had to be 12. So, you know, the age difference is different. And I don't know, there's just not enough horsey people here anymore that have enough horse sense to be able to come. And then see, a lot of the time it's early in the morning. I mean, our boys did it before school, but there's a lot of children now that I think parents would find it hard to bring them to the different trainers to do it before school and after school. You have to be really, really dedicated to do it. I mean, we've got, like, you know, we're here at the racecourse now. I'm out there looking at the Pony Club and Dressage Arena. We only have about 12, maybe 14 children riding now, and thanks to Trish McKenzie we've got that up and, you know, going again. But back in my day, when our kids and Jimmy Taylor's day, we had 53 kids and they were all very competent riders back then, but it's just fallen off the bandwagon like a lot of things do. I don't know if it's because of all the technology, kids are just into their technical devices and not getting out there in the fresh air. I don't know, like...
Now, I observed a couple of weeks ago that I was at your AGM and there was meetings there too and suggestions, what can we do? Tell me if I'm wrong, but I had a feeling that within the organisation of the King Island Racing Club, not everybody had their face pointed the same direction. It was like people disagreed, and I think if you want to be successful as a small organisation, you have to work towards a target, a goal, isn't it?
That's right, and that's what I've been trying to say for, you know, a long time. We all need to work together. We're all here for the same reason. Let's work together. Like, if you need a hand, you know, your fellow trainer should offer you a hand and just say, you know, what can I do to help? Or if a young person wants to come in and help, or, you know, like learn the ropes, you should be willing to take them under your wing and say, yeah, look, what do you need to know? What can I help you with? And that sort of thing. So we do need to work together. And like, you know, I'm here as president. I didn't really want the job, but I took it on. I've been here for nearly 11 years now, but there's nothing in it for myself. There is for the King Island economy. It is wonderful. Like, we turn over well over $1 million when you take in the shipping, the flights, the accommodation, the vehicles, the petrol, the cost of the horse feed, the vet fees. It's just snowballs. And then the people that come here, like all the golf groups, all the surfing groups, and just the locals that come and support it. We get more people at our race meetings than they do in Launceston and Hobart. People just love it. And we don't have online betting anymore. We still have Honest Howie come as a bookie, and people love to go and have a bet with Howie and, you know, have a little dabble there, $5 here and there. And
where did people have different thoughts and different ideas then? Give an example where people had ideas how to go ahead and that didn't occur or it didn't happen?
Well, I think most of them want the 7 meetings because, you know, you still have to have those 3 months pre-training unless you're able to have horses from Victoria or Tasmania that are being trained for you and then bring them here like other off-island trainers would just before the races. It would save you a cost with a feed, because like we can't help it. We're in business ourselves. We have King Island stock feeds. Every time we get an invoice, the price is going up. And Sophie told me yesterday we had to put our chaff up again because the freight's gone up so much. It's $65 a bag for chaff, oat chaff. I think Formula 3's gone up to $57. 4 years ago it was like $27 or $30. The cost of the shipping is horrendous. You know, like Bass Island Line, Tasports are owned by the government. The cost just keeps rising and it's killing us.
But I guess the main, because cost will go up, I can understand. But if you want to do something, you probably deal with that, or you have to increase certain things or do a little bit less. By the end of the day, it is, you need the people on the island to support it to keep going, isn't it?
That's right. Like, we've been lucky in the past that the trainers have been able to get syndicates, like, so that, you know, you've got 8 or up to 20 people in a syndicate of a horse, so then everybody puts a little bit towards the cost of the feed. The trainers here do not charge, like I've spoken with most of them, they don't charge for their daily jobs. You know, like the training, there's no training fees. So like if you have a horse being trained off the island, I know our nephew Rowan Hamer, he's just put his up to $70 a day, but there is trainers who charge a lot more than that. So, you know, the cost of all that, and we don't have the track riders. We've got Casey Hyde, but she charges because she does it, you know, she can't afford to do it for nothing. You know, it's a lot of work.
Now, you've been the president for quite some time. You've been involved with the racing club for a long, long time. You put a lot of effort and time and your heart into it. Then you also deal with lots of people, a number of people that disagree with what you do. Is that frustrating?
Oh, it's not only frustrating. I take it to heart, and because I want it to keep going. I didn't want it to stop on my watch. You know, like growing up, we came to the races. Our boys started racing. I did clerk of the course for 5 or 6 years. Before that, Wayne and I did the catering for 10 years. We'd get everything ready at the bakery. We'd come here to support the races, you know, and we had to pay for the use of the buildings. Back then, we don't charge anyone now because we can't get anyone. Yeah, and I learnt in the first 5 minutes that I actually had to take on the president's role because I was vice president. You can't please everyone, like it's just so hard. And I don't like confrontations. I like to keep everyone happy. And then you talk to one person, they've got their view, and then you talk to the other one, their view, and I need time to, you know, take that in and think, yeah, well, what would be the best scenario? But it's not just me. There is a committee. Like, can't make decisions on my own. You can do executive committee, and then we're also under Tas Racing's banner. So we have to answer to them. A lot of the time, we can't just go and make decisions on, oh yeah, we're just going to have 4 in a race and we'll only have, you know, so many races. But you need 5 races for a meeting, and you need 5 horses per race. So, yeah, that's a minimum of 25, and then if you don't have any breakdowns, you're lucky. So we'd need like 30 horses to start the season.
Who actually made the decision not to go ahead this year? Was it actually Tas Racing pushing it, or was it like, this is all we can do, folks, and your executive committee made a decision?
No, we had the meeting last night. Not everyone was there, but we cannot make the decision we couldn't make the decision to go ahead on the people that at the last minute have said yes, they will come. You know, there isn't enough set in concrete yet to know that they will 100% sure come. So if we started the season with the 5 thoroughbreds here on the island, there will, because there was only going to be 4 races, one of the other trainers in the pacing, well, both of them pulled out. So there was no paces on the island and only 5 thoroughbreds. And then with Bill Hayes coming from off island with 8, so that would make it the 13. And then Peter Jakowenko was thinking of bringing 6 and Mark Jones 1 pacer. But, you know, the rule is with harness, a trainer cannot have 50% more of his horses in one race, and that stands for King Island as well. So with the harness was a no-go. And then late last night, before the meeting, I had people offering, or one trainer offering to bring 8, but nothing was set in concrete. He has to know how it all works here, and you got to get the horses here, you got to get
It's not like a last minute thing you can do and organise.
Not really, because it'd be unfair if then that fell over and then the local trainers have started training their horses, and we get all the sponsors, the committee, we do all our work, getting everything up and running, people off island making their bookings like tour groups and things to come to the races. It's, we've taken the punt the last 4 years. Well, we did have that set in concrete, early enough. So, but this year it's still up in the air. But I was speaking with Blaine Hudson, Tas Racing this morning. Actually, I think I've spoken to nearly all of them this morning, and I've had my little, upset moments. But Blaine would like to, if there's anyone on the island that's got horses here and want to still train them and then send them to Tasmania, on the 9th of January he wants to have like a King Island race, and if any of our sponsors want to sponsor that race in Tasmania on the 9th of January for the gallops, and then also if there's any harness horses from King Island, they still have to work out a date for harness, but that's not set in concrete yet either. They're going to have a meeting about this next week. So then they will contact the local trainers to say, yes, we're going to do this, we'll go ahead, and they would help subsidise getting the horses there. And
when was the last time that we missed a season? Do you remember?
No. Luca Gatti would know. It was during the war. There was, So
they had to say after the Second World War, we never missed a race season, pretty much.
Maybe not, yes, that's
hard
right.
to say. Look ahead, 26-27 season. What is the aim? We come back stronger, or is it like we missed this season, that's probably it for King Island Racing? It's too hard to come back and start again.
Well, I just hope it's not. The club, we're still financial enough at the moment to help subsidise again, but we've got to get the sponsors back on board. If anyone out there wants to help sponsor so we can subsidise the trainers even more, especially the local trainers. If they're training here for the 3 months of the year, it costs them a lot more than it does to train your horses off island. So, we need to look after them, which we have done last year. We just need to make room to house horses and people if they want to come. So if that trainer wanted to come with the 8 horses, we have to have room for him to home those horses, and he's got to have somewhere to live. Like with Bill and everyone else that came, and Chris Diplock, they were happy to camp at Roddenvale's property.
But what do you think is going to happen? We'll try and do everything to go ahead, or is it going to be a hard one?
Well, we're going to start. A few of us are getting together on Tuesday. We're going to contact all the sponsors and let them know. Well, it's out there on social media now that we're not going. So to see if they will then continue to sponsor us for next year, maybe get a dollar figure in concrete. And then Tas Racing are behind us, and they will help us, they've said, to really encourage more Tasmanian trainers to come across. And a few years ago, Tas Racing were happy to help build some paddocks out the back of the racecourse here to home horses, but the council put a stop to that. So I have to contact the council. I mean, they're going to hear me talking here now. We need that for King Island, so they have to be on board with us really. To fence that off. There's other fences out there. We just need to make more paddocks.
Lots of work needs to be done. Okay, last question, short answer. Next year we're going to fight to go ahead, or
100%.